I use the he, him pronouns. I use the he and pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play tabletop RPGs with friends. This is part of the Gauntlet community. The Gauntlet community is a wonderful worldwide group of fans, aficionados, and freaks for indie, small press, and OSR tabletop RPGs. You should check it out at gauntlet-rpg.com. We're running masks for the month of January and February 2020. It's still getting used to it. And this is exciting for me because I love masks. I've run and played it a number of times. And I've had the fortune to chat with Brendan Conway about the game a few times. So it's a game that I feel pretty comfortable with. That said, as I often say to folks, gaming to me is less of a hobby and more of a craft. So there are always things that I'm learning about masks, and also there are a lot of playbooks that I've never seen in play. Some of them maybe only once or twice. So this is always a new and fresh experience for me. And then the goal after February is that the surviving characters, he said maniacally, will be ported over to a game that's in playtest from Jen Kitzman, and that game is called Power Beyond Doubt. So it's also a PbtA supers related game, except you're playing adults instead of young adults. Masks, A New Generation, is from Brendan Conway of Magpie Games. It is a game about young adult superheroes. Young Justice is a huge influence for this, as well as a lot of the X-Men comics. And various other media. And leaning heavy into that, we are going to be setting this at a high school. Now, the last little thing, two things that I have, is that this is part of Gauntlet Comics, which means that we have within the Gauntlet community a bunch of folks who love comics-related RPGs, not just super stuff. We do lots of things in the Gauntlet comic setting. I think of it as like an imprint of a comic book, like DC or Image or Wildstorm back in the day. And this is going to be set in the 2000s, right? So we're going back in time to start off with masks, and then we'll jump forward to Power Beyond Doubt. So we're going a little bit into the quote unquote history, the Iron Age, I believe it's called, as of earlier today. So folks who have played or been parts of other Gauntlet Comics games, there may be slightly younger versions of some characters that have been in other Gauntlet Comics sessions, but we're not going to use this to like stump anyone. It's more like a fun cameo bit than anything. Like, that's my hope, because it's comics. So like sometimes Wolverine is on the Avengers while also part of the X-Men and doing his own solo stuff in Madripoor, and it all works out. It will here as well. And then the last thing that I want to share is to remind you guys that we do have safety tools. The inclusivity policy is an important part of the Gauntlet community. And we use the X card in this particular game as the main piece for, at the moment, something has happened and we need to stop play because this isn't fun for me. All you need to do is indicate an X, or you can use our die roller thing. It has a little X card thing, or you can type in the Zoom chat. There's a bunch of different ways. Whatever is easiest, quickest for you, will stop play. And then I'm not going to challenge you on what has caused you discomfort, or just, hey, you want to kind of check it, like it makes you nervous. Right. I will ask what's going on, so that I just saw the MySpace comment and I just want to nod. It's a good one. So we'll stop for a moment just to figure out what's happening so that we can excise it from our play. And we're all very smart, creative individuals. It's not going to stop us at all. Will not be a roadblock to our fun. We also have lines and veils, which are in the character keeper. I adore using the lines and veils up front. And if you guys, from session to session, I'll be checking that lines and veils just to see if there's something new. Because, hey, maybe you had a bad week at X or Y activity and you just don't want to deal with it, you can still stick that in. And we do have the writing at the bottom there. Our lines are sexual assault and violence. That's sexual violence, because this is a supers comic. There's going to be violence. There will be punching, but hopefully an equal amount of kissing. Violence to pets, there's a line on that, and a line on peril to pregnant women. Those things will not appear in our game. Those are things that I don't think I'm even interested in. So happily, awesome line for those. We have veils. Veils are where this is content that may exist in the world, but we're not going to highlight it. It's not going to be something that is quote unquote on screen. We may allude to it as the situation may warrant, but it's a thing that's not going to be significant content for us. And those are death or endangerment of young children, graphic injuries, and we have a veil on consensual sex, a veil on suicide. So, and yeah, that's what we have for all of our safety tools and all of my preamble. I'm going to pause, take a drink of Diet Pepsi.
This session of Masks brought to you by the refreshing taste of Diet Pepsi.
Masks, the choice of a new generation. Just like Diet Pepsi. Sawyer, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your character, I would appreciate it.
I am Sawyer, also known as Ferret. I use all pronouns because I am greedy, as long as they're said with respect. I am going to be playing Yuan Baylor, who is the Pale Prince, the adopted child of the Fomorian king and queen. His sister is probably older than he is, has more say and sway in court, but she's not looking to take the crown. That's one of the reasons he was adopted, as it was a good choice for him. And for the longest time, he's grown up in the world of the Fomorians. He was from Earth, but he went to the Fey realm when he was 4, lured in, and hasn't been back to Earth for a while. But when you come of 16 or thereabouts in the Fey court, time is wibbly-wobbly in that kind of area. You go on something called a wilding, where you have to do great events and great deeds of justice and might and daring to earn your name in court. They figured he'd go to the Leonin realm where he had been wronged before, but he asked to go to Earth. And now his adopted parents are very worried he's going to run into his birth parents, which is not on his mind, as the Pale Prince has been treated pretty much like Princess Diana meets Starfire, where it's just like, apparently he's very pretty, apparently he's very charming, and he's had to turn down a few people, maybe break a few hearts, as he's not even sure what a date is yet, besides a fruit. Yeah, and we will learn more about him when we come back around, I guess.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Sawyer. I'm going to jump down to Sherry. Sherry, good evening. Oh, I know. You were like, what?
I know.
Only Lowell calls me on me early. Both my first and last name started with an S. I'm used to being last, but I'm just crazy. So please introduce yourself and your character.
Okay, my name is Sherry. I use the pronoun she, her. I'm going to be playing Elaine Sobchak. She also is she, her for now. She is a Nova, and particularly she carries a very powerful violin, which gives her access to the world of sorcery. And all of her time since she has possessed the violin has been devoted to attuning to controlling it, or controlling the world, or I don't know, giving it access to the world. It's very unclear precisely how this is all working out. But when she uses it, she apparently has great power, or so the violin tells her.
Appropriate. How does the voice of the violin sound to her?
Sounds like music, but music that tells her exactly what she needs to know.
Interesting. Cool.
makes her heart soar, and it's like emotional truth. Does that make any sense?
Makes some sense. Do you have conversations with the violin?
Well, yeah. Whenever she plays it, that's what a conversation is.
Oh, fascinating. Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you very much, Leah. Can you please introduce yourself and your character?
Absolutely. I'm Leah, she, her. I'm playing Magdu Miranda, whose hero name is Tensile. Magdu is a teenager, has stretchy body powers and also telekinesis. And, comes out of a family that's always been connected to superheroes, just from the law enforcement side. And I'll go into more on the backstory. It's hired a mentor who's more on the superheroing side. But, is not having any problems with the law at all. So there's no reason why this should be, attention in her family.
Right. That sounds perfect. No problems at all. I can't wait. Oh, I love stretchy powers too. I'm very excited for this.
They are the best.
That's right. I remember the stretchy character you played once. That was so cool. Alexi, good evening, friend. Please introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, good evening. I'm Alexi, he, him. You can follow all of my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. So tonight I'm playing Kelvin, also he, him, who is the newborn. Kelvin is a lava elemental. He was accidentally created by a young demigod, just experimenting with his powers, and then he wandered around for a little while before some scientists found him, took him in. Now he's got this crystalline containment skin, so he can interact with the world a little better without burning everything all of the time. And he's been, being taught how to be, a good lava elemental and interact with a world that exists at a significantly lower temperature than he finds natural.
Nice. That is fascinating. So we have a protege, a newborn, an outsider, and a nova. No popular kids here. This is great. Cool. So what we're going to do now is talk a little bit about the relationships and influence that each of you will have with each other. And we'll just go in the same order. So if you could, Pale Prince, I'll be transitioning to referring to you guys by your character names for a bit. So Pale Prince, if you could, what do we have here? Oh, wait, there's an order of operations. Am I supposed to do first came together first? Dang it. I always get nervous. I am. Aha.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There we go. I will have to brag about playing the game, and then I screwed it up like 5 minutes in. We are going to start off with when our team first came together. And because we have everybody but one is from the original, I'll just do this. So when our team first came together, questions. The Nova is the first one that will be going. So, Sherry.
So what did we destroy when our team first came together? It probably was here at the school, wasn't it? So, yeah. So I seriously think that we took down the high school football team scoreboard and the press box behind it.
That's amazing.
And who were we fighting when we took down a major, part of the football field here?
That's true. Since we don't have a bull, we don't know who this dangerous enemy is. We should probably
It's true.
figure that out.
Let's see here. I imagine that it was some sort of superpowered embodiment of the rival team's mascot.
I'd suggest that it might even have appeared to be a halftime show, but turned out to go well beyond pranks to something more nefarious.
Awesome. Who of us was the first one to intuit that was going wrong? This is what I want to know.
Oh, this is good. This is good. All right, so we have to develop your rivals. Friends, I'm going to harken back to before New Gauntlet City was a New Gauntlet City and Rich was just doing nerdy Gauntlet City Limits stuff. How do you feel about the rivals being the Galarian Pathfinders? Are we good with that? All right. So the Galarian Pathfinders, and this is Hope Prep, the Epoch-backed high school, is a supers-related high school, which means that these Pathfinders, they have to have some kind of powers too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Rock on. So it was a Pathfinders against. Oh, what is the mascot for Hope Prep? I don't even know.
Oh, we've got to. I had an idea because I think of my intro, but could our mascot be the unicorn?
It is now.
Unicorns inspire hope.
The
But mostly
unis.
they make virgin jokes about it.
Okay.
That's how it started, but then it spiraled out of control at halftime.
Sweet. So there was a halftime show that became nefarious. Some prank went awry. That is a great trigger point and very high school. I love it. It's not alien invasion. It's nothing blasé like that. I love it. Cool. So let's go from the Nova to our outsider.
Well, when I first came in, I don't think we trusted each other at first, but that changed. And I think this, if I may go with like the Pathfinder starting the prank, maybe since the Pathfinder sounds like a kind of crappy mascot, maybe they had to have magic or some kind of like teleportal gadget or gizmo that had brought something from a different realm, which, I mean, I was heading to Earth. I needed to find a place to go. And this entrance, like this was like a beacon to me of, enter here. So I think I came like right in after the being, and it was thought that I was with them for the first time until it was seen like I started teaming up with the Aeon or the Epoch school, not the Galarians.
Okay. So the Pathfinders, as part of this prank, were opening some kind of extra planar thing, and a beast came through. Is that what?
It might have been like it was supposed to be like I don't know, like it's like they said it was the mascot, but maybe it was like it was something that was said it was going to enhance the mascot, or it was the mascot spell that just went awry, or ability or whatever. I'm fine with other people chiming in too.
So then they wanted to give their mascot some kind of extra planar soup up.
And maybe like this was just supposed to be like we're summoning some backup pixies to enhance this dance. And it's like, oh wait, pixies like pranks. And not like the dump condiments on people pranks, but the like rip out hair tracks pranks.
Honestly, I feel like, there's probably some questions after all this went down, whether one of the kids from the other school is having his probability of becoming a supervillain, like, suspicion raised by both the school and Eon. So there's kind of a bit of a question about how much was this an accident and how much of this was a test run.
Awesome. I'm going to insert in that the Pathfinder mastermind got in so much trouble he was expelled, and he's now starting this semester at Hope Prep.
Woo.
And his name's Donnie D.
Really?
Yep, Donnie D.
Cute?
He's pretty cute, yeah.
Okay, that's just important information.
It really is.
He's pretty cute, and he's also filthy rich. He's also the son of Don Destructo, but
That's
that
how he
doesn't
was able
matter.
to. That's how he was able to buy his way into Hope Prep
Yeah.
after the other school kicked him out.
There's a new Destructo Hall going up.
Did they rebuild the scoreboard?
Of course, he paid to rebuild the scoreboard to make amends. Hard-earned money. Awesome. These are good. All right, so summoned a passel of pixies who caused an inordinate amount of damage, and you guys had to stop it, and that's how you destroyed the scoreboard and the press box. Oh, goodness. Awesome.
And it sounds like they accidentally summoned the Pale Prince along the way, or the Pale Prince.
Yeah, is this what brought you in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was not like they didn't I wasn't literally summoned. It was just like, oh, something's entering here. I'm going to see what's coming into Earth right now too. I'll come along.
So this was your first introduction to Hope Prep. Then was the involvement in this and teaming up with the group. Okay, cool. Very outsidery. All right, and that changed, and the reason it changed, you helped them out, kind of fought against the pranksters and the problems of the pixies. Cool. I like it. So next we have we have two left. We have the protege and the newborn, and I can't remember where the newborn would be placed. So they're both
the non-core ones just go last is the usual guidance, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference here.
Cool. Yeah, and they're both kind of after the fact ones. So let's go with
Protege's from the core book.
Yes, that's true. So let's go with Protege.
Yeah, so my question is, we stuck together after all was said and done. Why? How did we keep in contact? And I think that when we were all given detention for, the level of collateral damage we caused, part of detention was you need to learn to work together as a group more safely. And that was kind of a mix of, like little team building exercises, trust falls, like how do you move this thing with this like limited set of tools? And it turned out we did make a pretty good team. We decided. Even though probably we resented the detention initially.
I didn't. This is Earth culture.
Oh, outsidery of you. That is cool. So yeah, the stuck together after it was all said and done. It wasn't initially a choice because you were all being punished. That sounds cool. And then Kelvin.
I kind of think this has been like an unusually effective strategy for the school. Like there are probably several superhero teams built out of detention teamwork exercises. And like people go in vowing it won't happen to them, but they win us over.
I quite like that. I'm trying to think. I think that Moon Maiden of the faculty, she'd probably be the one who is most the biggest proponent of just throw them into detention together. That's totally what she would do. Super Breakfast Club. So good. And now we will go with our newborn first team came together.
Yeah. So it specifies for the newborn that when the team first came together, the team discovered you during the incident. Thanks to them, you reached the outside world and helped in the fight. Where and how did they find you? Who gave you your first nickname? So I kind of imagine Kelvin was just a project of the science teacher at the school. My caretaker is Dr. Vivian Hawkray, and I think she's kind of teaching super science stuff here at Hope Prep. So maybe during the battle, the science lab got smashed open, and I joined the fray, trying to be helpful. And so being assigned detention was like the first thing that officially acknowledged me as a being with rights and responsibilities such that I could be assigned detention. And then just sort of from there, I kind of gradually was incorporated into the student body as a enrolled member of Hope Prep and not just a science experiment. So detention was the best thing that could have happened to me, really. And who gave you your first nickname? Who wants that one? Who either, and I could interpret that either as just Kelvin is my nickname, right? That I have a more like a science project name before that, or that someone came up with another nickname for this lava being that has stepped in to be part of this little burgeoning team. So, anyone?
It's a hard one because it's a very clever name.
Thank you.
mean, that is.
But if you want to claim that your
so-
character came up with that name,
Yeah. Sure. The whole thing is he's so hot that, it doesn't even show up on a thermometer. And then you got to talk about the kind of degrees. Is it Celsius or Fahrenheit? No, it's Kelvin.
how many degrees Kelvin?
Well, it's at least
all of
6
them.
degrees of separation.
Cool.
Nice.
Good. I like it. So that means that Elaine Sobchak. Am I saying that right? Is it Sobchak or Sobchak?
Subject.
Sobchak. Elaine Sobchak gave Kelvin his name. Cool. Yeah, I like it. Then now that we're doing things in the proper order, now we'll do relationships and influence, and we'll go through the same order as before. So, Pale Prince, you've got some outsidery relationships here.
Well, since I have changed some of the other things, I would like to change one of my relationships, if that's okay.
Okay, what were you thinking?
I was thinking of changing the "you have a crush on" one. It's like I am fine with romance, but it's just I don't see you on being with a lava man or the other two off the bat.
I told you it was going to cost you kisses and smooches. Sorry, go ahead.
But I was thinking I think Kelvin reminds him of the Fey realm a lot, and I wanted to say that instead of the crush, that I treat Kelvin just like family.
Yeah, that works for me.
Nice. Two weirdos hang out. That's good. That
Yeah,
checks.
it's. And I've been spending time learning about Earth, hanging out with Mogdu or Tensile.
That makes a lot of sense.
Choose your demeanor, haughty or cheerful.
Oh, I'm very cheerful. It's amazing to be here. Everyone have influence.
Yes, everyone has influence over you, as do all the adults. Love it. Next we go to our Nova. Elaine, you have relationships to hand out. Sorry, I just read the blow off steam part and it made me laugh because.
Okay. So here's the thing. I got to find that in the playbook. So.
Oh, okay.
Most of
You've got
this-
2 relationships to hang out. I'll drop them in the chat.
Okay.
There, you hang out all the time with blank to blow off steam. Sorry, Kelvin joke.
Yes.
And you once hurt blank when you lost control of your powers.
I'm going to say that I hang out with Magdu all the time because she's normal. And I'm pretty sure that if I can mimic her, that I can blend in. And that'll keep me and Subject safer.
So, Magdu, you are the normalizing influence for the Pale Prince and Elaine.
Yeah.
I mean, that honestly sounds right. I'm only surprised because usually when I play mass, outsiders and other people are like, who do I look for as my model? The delinquent immediately.
All right. You once hurt blank when you lost control of your powers.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's actually Calvin because I have powers that are like protective powers and stuff. And I could see it being like I put a mode up or, something, put some force up and it just super cooled him or something like that because he was part of the danger of the process. So does that make sense, Calvin? I mean, Alexa.
Froze you a little bit. That
Yeah.
sounds-
Yeah. I mean, if you're the Nova, right?
Yeah.
Just, if anyone's gonna hurt a lava monster, it's you.
But I didn't mean to. That's what she regrets.
All right. Then for influence, Elaine, you need to choose your demeanor. happy facade, or locked down? Oh, you're talking to me, I think.
I think lockdown for the time being. She's trying to
Okay.
keep control. So
If you choose lockdown, give influence to one teammate.
I think wands is otherworldly, and that's how I understand subject. So sometimes I take my cues from him. Does that make sense?
All
Like-
That
right.
makes perfect sense to me because it seems like we both have this. What is weird to other people is normal to us.
Appropriate. Next, we hop over to our protege.
Yeah, so I've got you and Blank teamed up a few times before the rest of you came together. That definitely sounds like it's Elaine, especially since the rest of you guys turned up pretty late in our friendship.
That's true.
And your mentor is cautious. They asked you to keep an eye on Kelvin.
Why would your mentor be cautious about me and feel I needed an eye being kept on me? And can you reach your eye out all the way to have it be on someone?
Look, Kelvin, it's not something you should take personally. It's definitely not something we've discussed. But my mentor is suspicious that, whoever was working on Kelvin may not be up to any good, whether or not Kelvin intends to be. And keeping an eye on you is actually relatively easy because I can use heat goggles and keep an eye on you from several buildings away.
Oh, you need to choose your demeanor, playful or business.
I was leaning towards business, but apparently everyone's relying on me to teach about Earth, so I want it to be playful rather than set a bad example.
Nice.
And so I'm going to give influence to everyone but Kelvin.
Appropriate. Before we move on, I had not really asked this question. First of all, how do you pronounce Magdu's mentor's name?
Let me look up what it is since I came up with it yesterday.
It's on row 6 of the NPC's faculty and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, so I have been pronouncing it Anaximandra, but
Okay.
Alexei, who is actually speaks Greek, can correct me if needed.
I'd say Anaximandra.
Anaximandra? I have I've been playing an inordinate amount of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and listening to the way that they pronounce words in Greek is fascinating. Like Phoenix is Phoenicus. It's neat. It's neat. They make a lot of words sound super sexy. So Mandra, Anaximandra. Okay. And is she Greek?
I think this is more her hero name.
Okay.
So she's more into history and philosophy, which is where she got it from. I didn't actually pick a civilian name for her. So
I like that. I'm good. Pre-Socratic Greek philosopher who lived in the city of Ionia. Awesome.
So I could say that the reason this is her name is because I was discussing with Alexei what elemental control meant as the power the mentor has that you don't have. It was like, which element? I'm like, oh, all the elements. She thinks it's all an extension of telekinesis. So he picked the Greek philosopher who believed that all elements were really one substance.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. Really cool. and she, it's a she, her, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she built natural powers augmented by tech, built Magdu's bangles.
Yeah, so Magdu doesn't really have naturally occurring powers. She's training with her mentor. She has tech that lets her use telekinesis and stretchiness. This doesn't work the way her mentor anticipated, hence the stretchiness.
Cool. All right. We had a question about Elaine's influence. You chose locked down for the Nova. That means that you...
Yeah, my impression was I did not get influence over Elaine. I see Sherry has something else recorded on her column, and I wanted to double check whether I was missing something there.
Oh, you know why I put it is because I hurt you. Does that make any sense?
So you're giving
that's
me
the thing
influence.
is you can choose to give influence over anyone you want. So you're choosing to give influence because you hurt him. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That just made sense to me.
Yeah,
okay, that's
totally.
awesome. We're just double checking. That's say okay, and then because you're locked down, you only give influence to one teammate.
Oh, see, again, when we describe the relationships, I just wrote those down. But
Okay.
Kelvin makes a lot of sense to me because I hurt him. So.
All right. So you're saying that the Pale Prince has influence over you when you're locked down? He's the one that you gave influence to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. It is time for our newborn to discuss relationships and influence.
So I've got Blank is an exemplary human. They show you around and tell you how things work. I think I'll go with the flow here and say that is Magdu. People are frequently turning to her for this sort of guidance, and Kelvin is no different.
It's like I have ducklings.
Yeah, it's a little ducklingish.
And then my other question is, the behavior of Blank confuses you again and again. You've determined to understand humanity better by studying them. And I think that's going to be Elaine.
Nice.
Who indeed is a confusing being, is maybe secretly made of music the way I'm made of lava. But further observation is warranted to confirm or disconfirm this hypothesis.
And then while we're still with the newborn, let's do the 2 lessons you have, just so highlight that because they would all know this, you being a teammate and classmate of theirs.
Oh, totally. So I am a blank slate. When I learn something that helps me make sense of the world, I write it down as a lesson. At the start of the game, I've got 2 lessons filled in. So I have a lesson. I am a happy accident that could shed light on thermodynamics, and never touch someone flammable without permission.
Those are good lessons.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, and I'm receptive to how people think and behave around me, give influence to all of my teammates. So everyone has influence over Kelvin.
Oh, awesome. So I have a question. Who called you a happy accident?
I think that's Dr. Vivian Hawkray.
Okay. And do you tell other people that? Do you use that wording?
Almost certainly.
Oh, okay.
I'm very naive and straightforward.
All right. I think when you say that, you'll always see Elaine like look at Magdu for like her hint on how she's supposed to react to that.
I think Magdu comes from a community where like many children are happy accidents, and we should receive them all as a gift. And this is like one thing Kelvin says that is not weird.
Oh, how nice! That's no wonder you got all the ducklings. Good at you, all accepting and wise and stuff. That's great. Good. Okay. Well, we've been at this for an hour, friends. So let's take a 5-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll jump straight into some fun. So we'll see you guys in 5 minutes after the hour. My brain always gets mixed up with Zoom that like when people turn their video off, it like pops around the order. And so people have moved. It's like you guys all switched seats on me and we're sitting at a conference table and everyone came back from break and are sitting in new places and I'm all discombobulated.
That's definitely what we did in detention too.
I can see the scribbling out the names and writing them names. When I'm at con games, I always have like a little index card and I'll write down the character name, even though I've gotten to where I use table tents now and that's usually better, but I'll still write player names as they introduce themselves. Otherwise there's no freaking way I'm going to remember it. Because once I get in the rhythm of it, I like certain things slip my mind. And if people were to like move during break at a con game, I would be so lost. All right. We are going to pick up. At first, I thought it would be interesting to just do it winter semester, but it's so cold here in the Twin Cities. It's so cold, friends, that we're going to go for the spring. Just like aspirational. I literally just went and put on a long sleeve shirt on top of the shirt I was wearing because I'm a little chilly. So I want to be spring because I want to think warm thoughts. And I mean, the Pale Prince, you gotta dig some springtime, right? That's got to be good for the Pale Prince. Except might worry about getting a sunburned. I don't know because you're pale and stuff, but hopefully you're stronger than the sun's rays. We are gonna pick
a
up.
brand.
Hashtag branding. We're gonna pick up at Hope Prep, which is Supers related high school. I have not determined what neighborhood it's in yet. That is on my to-do list unless folks have strong suggestions. We do have. This is in the 2000s rather than like 2010s-ish because, but it's like 10 years ago from now is about it. Again, I'm not going to get obsessive about timelines. So the magnet schools and other stuff that's in our modern day Gauntlet Comics world, I'd say some of them are maybe happen in reaction to Hope Prep. Hope Prep is the technical name of the school. It is backed by Epoch, which is part of Aeon. Those are a lot of acronyms, friends. Don't worry about it. Let's just say supra-governmental organization that keeps an eye on super-powered beings and has kind of a United Nations charter, but generally is pretty active here in New Gauntlet City. They have set an outreach program, and Hope Prep is for kids with extra natural, supernatural abilities, superpowers, all of that stuff. And they even go out of their way to offer needs-based scholarships, and they even do some outreach to at-risk teens who have been identified on certain lists as could be next supervillain, to show them the light and give them understanding. It is spring semester for the Hope Prep unicorns. And you guys have school uniforms, and they have the kind of materials and fiber blends that can even get a nice blue blazer on someone like Kelvin, and tan pants for the anyone who wants to wear them, or girls are offered as well the possibility of skirts. So, and well, not just girls, whoever wishes to wear. There you go. They're pretty open-minded, seeing as how they have non-gendered aliens who have attended Hope Prep, and it's hallowed halls. So we begin. It's morning. It's between second and third period when Kelvin, you're in the hall, and you are moving between classes when you see that Demos, who, well, you know how on WB high school shows sometimes it looks like high school guys are played by dudes in their 20s. Demos looks like he's been held back a year or two.
Hmm.
And Demos is currently, as you walk through the hallway, shoving Janos Ferin into his own locker while taking his backpack. Javier, who is good buddies with Demos. Javier is about as big as you, but isn't all fiery. He's kind of big enough to, he's like 6.5 feet tall, very broad shouldered, and he's kind of blocking the view for most folks as Janos gets shoved into his locker. And Demos, who is a very handsome guy in his 20s. I mean, high school student. He's shoving Janos into the locker, and he glances over and he sees you. What do you do?
Hello, Demos, Janos, Javier. What is this game?
Nice.
Explain
Demos
the rules of the locker shoving game, please.
Oh, it's really easy, Demos says. Janos here doesn't think he can fit in, and I do think he can. Can't you, Janos? Janos is like, of course I just, it's, I
Janos,
got bendy.
Do you have elastic powers like Mogdu does? This is extraordinary. I'll have to update my list of student powers.
No. And then he gets his head, he kind of bumps it against the little shelf thing, and he starts to duck down. Sorry, I should have ducked my head. And Demos grabs Janos's backpack and throws it to you. Here, keep this.
He's just thrown me the backpack?
Yes, he's just thrown you Janos's backpack.
I take
your crystalline
take
suit. You don't burn it up, right? Like
yeah. That's the point of the crystal skin,
exactly.
Is so that I can interact with the world. Keeping the fiery part on the inside, like they told me to. I look at the backpack. Is there anything unusual about it? Or does it seem similar to the other backpacks that I've seen all around the school?
Well, that is a fine question. I think, I don't think you're necessarily trying to pierce anyone's mask here. So I think you check out the backpack is it looks kind of like a JanSport regular backpack. There's nothing super duper about it. A couple things rattle in it. Like perhaps there's some metallic things there inside it instead of just books. It doesn't sound like you broke anything when he threw it to you. But yeah, Janos looks a little nervous, and he's like, "I'm going in. See, I can fit. You were right, Demos. You're so right."
Yeah, something seems a little strange about this whole situation. I think I'm going to say, hold on a moment. Is this what the humans call a mugging? Superheroes are supposed to fight muggers.
Cool. And so, Pale Prince, you happen to notice the two of the largest guys in the school, that being Kelvin and Javier Jacinto Vargas. The two of them are standing near each other. So you catch a little bit of that. And you just overheard, "Is this a mugging?" from Kelvin as you're walking by. What do you do?
I think I dashingly turn, and the backpack that he had falls off and lands behind him with that perfect little just like. And he raises his mithril arm and looks at Kelvin, who's holding a backpack. And Kelvin, you have your backpack on your back, right?
Oh, you're talking to me, Alex.
Sure, why not?
See, I noticed that there are two backpacks in talk of a mugging. So I will storm over and try and stand between them. Kelvin, comrade, I heard that you might be in distress. What is going on here? Is Is someone in trouble?
And Demos says, "Okay, man, no, you just get your arm in. We're gonna close the door. It's no good if you're outside, like you're half in, half out. Come on, commit to this."
Oh, I think I need to assess the situation.
I think you should. Why don't you roll plus superior?
Oh, good. That is a 9.
Oh, what is your superior?
2.
Wow, you get 2 questions.
I get 1, I believe, on a 7 to 9.
I'm sorry. I thought you rolled a 9 and you had a 2 superior. So
Oh, I rolled a 7 and had a 2.
oh, I was looking at Kelvin. Armadur.
Yeah.
There it is. 7 plus 2, 9. You get 1 question. Sorry. Thank you.
No problem. How could I best end this quickly with this being the bullying?
Oh, how can you best end this quickly? Well, quickly is to just let Demos close the locker door, because it will not be quickly if you want to show up a bully, right?
And
Especially a bully
sadly,
who's got a thug with him.
oh, but I think I know how to handle this. So I will hold up my left hand, which has this beautiful gilded glove on, which is not school regulation, but I get to have. Pull it off and reveal my lovely mithril hand, and then slap Demos in the face with my jeweled glove. I cannot abide by this. You will meet me on the schoolyard, and we shall handle this like gentlemen. Or are you a thug?
Wow. I think you're trying to provoke someone.
I think I am.
Kelvin, what's your reaction to this mugging reaction solution here?
Yeah, I think I like whisper something like, "I'm glad you took care of it, Yuan. I'm not supposed to touch flammable people without permission."
Oh, I did not take care of it. That is a 6 total on provoke.
So I'll ask, Kelvin, do you wish to help here? Or are you depending on Pale Prince's ability to talk Demos into a fight after school?
Yeah, we have one team in the pool.
Yeah, you always start off with one team in the pool.
Yeah, I will spend a team and kind of as while Yuan has administered this challenging slap to Demos, I will be like helpfully handing the backpack back to the kid in the locker. You know, possibly not completely helpfully if what I'm doing is just like sticking the backpack into the locker with him, but it might slightly dislodge him, enough to like cause more problems for his tormentors. I don't know. Does that work as a use of the team pool?
I think I have a way to help you out with this in a way.
All right.
I think with you like moving the backpack, I think Yuan thinks you're putting the backpack in to save Yosef or shield him, and I will just smile like, "You have your large champion. I have my fiery brother to help me. We shall both meet you on the field."
Oh man, there we go. That is definitely some team, and that is some involvement. Demos looks and he steps away from the locker. And he says, "Oh, yeah, that sounds good, Princey. I'm the son of Ares. You don't know what you've just asked for."
The son of Ares? So what? Your debauched partying father made the mistake of going home with your mother. Dear, I don't care about by-blows.
Okay, that's Dionysius? I will see you after school.
They're all debauched.
And he starts walking, and he walks around, and I think Javier kind of leans in and he reaches out and he just kind of puts his big, massive hand around your mithril hand. He doesn't squeeze it or anything. It's just more like he wants to touch it for a second. Cool. And then he lumbers past the Pale Prince after. And Janos is still there in the locker. Little help?
Would you like to not be in the locker anymore, Janos?
Please?
Here, hold on tightly to your backpack.
Oh, God, please don't rip my arm out of it.
Try to yank him out via the backpack.
Oh, so you're using the backpack like a lifeline. That's adorable. I love it. Cool. So you are able to pull poor Janos Farron out of the locker, and he stumbles forward and kind of bumps up against you, but luckily you have the clear still in the skin. He jumps back like he thought, he was going to burn, and then he has this like mess of blonde hair. He kind of combs it over and gets it out of his eyes. Oh, man. Thanks, guys. That wasn't so bad. It was really just a joke. He's funny, Demos.
I doubt that. You are not a dwarf at lying.
Huh?
This scene... Oh, go on.
Yuan, please explain what debauched means.
He said he was the son of Ares. Those gods are... Do you know what a heavy partier is in human parlance?
Kelvin shakes his head.
And I think Yuan put his arm around Kelvin, just not even caring that he's touching a lava guy. It's like, we shall have to check out this movie called A Requiem for a Dream. It will explain much.
Janos takes his backpack, starts swapping out books, and ducks and heads away from you guys. And we will jump over to Tinsel and Elaine Subject. Subject. Yes, I'm doing it right. Yes. Sorry. Rich is just familiarizing himself with names. So the two of you didn't see this troublesome bullying display. You're headed to super science. I think so, right? Headed right into third period here. Where is it that you normally like to sit in the class, Magdu?
I sit in the second row, so it's not too much, but you're focused. It's clear
you
you're paying
avoid soak
attention.
up row, but yet totally. Elaine, where do you sit? Do you sneak into second row as well, or is there somewhere else you like to?
I recognize that Magdu has chosen a superior position for not being noticed, but I can simply not countenance being that close to that much boring lecturing. And so I sit in the back and I sort of slouch down as far as I can, and I sort of just practice fingering over and over again as we go through this.
Nice. Cool. So as the two of you have arrived, the other kids are piling in, and Sarah Bellum, she comes in. She's like the nerdy kid. She has these Coke bottle glasses, and she comes in and she looks at you, Magdu, because she knows who knows who, and she goes, "Okay, so Pale Prince and Kelvin just challenged the Demos and Garrison to a fight."
Oh no! Did they challenge them over something, or is this just general hormones or pheromones or whatever?
I just know there was a glove and some slapping, and they were going to throw down after school. They're going to get in trouble.
make a loud sighing noise. Hey, Elaine, like, what kinds of distractions can you cause last period that would result in early dismissal but wouldn't get us in trouble?
All of them. What would you like?
Something like a step up from pulling the fire alarm, but a step down from, like, property damage?
Ooh, that's a pretty narrow band. Let's see. Oh. How about if we set off the fire drill? I mean, we can set off the fire alarms. That's actually a really good one because everyone has to leave, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just worry that might be a bigger audience for a fight.
well, isn't that what we want?
No. My goal was that everyone has to leave before they could get to the fight, and the boys might be distracted, or at least no one would be here to catch them.
Oh, I thought we wanted to. Okay. Oh, all right. So we aren't trying to make sure that we're the top group, right? We're going to just let Demos and his sideman. Okay. So we're going to challenge later in the semester. Is that what I'm hearing? Because this girl wants to be in first chair by the end of semester.
Look, if we could just keep those things to gym when we're actually allowed to spar, like with supervision, that would be great. But this is unauthorized. And she says that like with the full weight of someone who thinks the word unauthorized is like a really compelling reason for doing.
And I think
nothing.
Elaine is going, okay, so that sounds like that's something bad. Okay. Let me think on it.
Pale Prince, you and Kelvin come into class. There's a minute or so before the bell is going to ring. And Tinsel, you see the pair of the guys entering class there. Just let him go ahead and take a seat, or?
I want a refresher on how newborn lessons work.
Ooh, good question.
How do you pick up new lessons, or how do people try and boss you around, Alexi?
I'll read you what I've got here. A blank slate. You were created with a basic understanding of the world. When you learn something that helps you make sense of the world, write it down as a lesson. Fill in 2 lessons when you create your character. Fill in the other 2 when you've learned those lessons during play. When you embody one of your lessons, shift 1 label up and 1 label down, your choice. If you cause a misunderstanding, collateral damage, or unintended consequences in the process, mark potential. When you reject one of your lessons, reject its influence as if it were an NPC. If you choose to have it lose influence over you, erase that lesson and write a new one in its stead. My caretaker can rewrite a lesson. It isn't obvious that a teammate can rewrite a lesson by default.
That's why I want to check whether there's a mechanical thing, or it sounds like it's up to you during play when it feels like that's true. So I think I'm like leaning over to Kelvin as the more malleable of these 2 and going, Kelvin, did you agree to have a fight after school?
No, but apparently it's the polite thing to do when someone slaps someone else with a glove for several surrounding people to become part of an arranged fight.
This is more historically true than necessarily true right now. Look,
what happens right now when someone is slapped with a glove?
Well, look, remember, you shouldn't be taking off your gloves at all at school, so it's not going
I remember.
Look, Kelvin, the point is, like, if it's a scheduled fight, it's not really superhero business. Superheroes, people who want to protect other people, have fights when someone else is in imminent danger. But if that's not true, you can't just, plan a fight as though you were planning a slumber party.
I did.
And I'm trying to provoke you, Kelvin, here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am thinking that over, but I'd welcome you rolling provoke on that. Absolutely.
Do it. Provoke. Roll plus superior. Oh, that doesn't look good. That appears to be a 4?
It goes all the way to a 6, and we used our team on getting into this fight, so we can't use it on getting out.
I know, it's so bad. So the good news is that you get to mark potential. Good job, Tinsel. So proud of you learning here. So, yeah. Elvin's not getting it. He just doesn't get it. And I think you're going to have to mark a condition because it's just not like, even if he agrees, you know, there's a fundamental miscommunication / misunderstanding going on here. So what condition, like how would Mog do?
I was going to say, Kelvin, can you throw me a little something of your reaction to help me pick a condition here?
Cue it up.
Yeah. So superheroes only fight by accident? That's a little hard to square with the news about the grown-up superheroes in the city. Are they always accidentally getting in these fights all of the time?
And I feel like Magdu is saying, no, it's not that it's accidental. It's that it's responsive to circumstances rather than something like as the teacher comes in and like realizes she has not conveyed anything or like has only conveyed things that will maybe cause problems later. It's all more copeless.
Nice. You're in mid-description when the bell rings, and that's when Dr. Vivian Hawkray begins calling attention to the class.
Can I pass a note to Magdu?
Oh, you so can.
Yeah, my Elaine's note says, don't worry, subject says that I can make everyone pay attention to me.
Not spooky.
Magdu makes this face.
Dr. Vivian Hawkray is at the front of the class. She dresses in a very conservative fashion. Really, she cares about the science. That's her passion. And she seems to, for students who can keep up, she seems to ignore any potential like misbehavior, passing notes and, dress code, whatever, as long as you're keeping up with science. And she says, children, this week, week 3, of course, we'll be talking about hyperstring theory. I'll begin the lecture. And then she starts and she just rattles this off. This is a thing that she knows cold, and she moves, and her style is to kind of walk around, and it's almost like a shepherd. She just walks around the entirety of the class and occasionally stops at the board at the front, which is a pattern like a whiteboard, but she actually has a light pin and everything kind of gets thrown in. And you guys have these cool little high-tech gadget Aeon tablets where you can pull the notes off of. And for folks who want to pay attention, like, I don't know, Sarah, this is a super stimulating class. Pale Prince, how are you in hyperstring theory?
This is intriguing. I mean, this human woman is obviously an expert in her field. She would not be able to teach us and elucidate our poor brains if she was not. Therefore, it is of the utmost importance that I listen to everything she has to say and take copious notes. It is not my fault those notes are in Gaelic.
Nice. Cool. So where is it the Pale Prince sits? Is he up front of the room?
Middle of the row, front of the class.
Front of the class, so you're right by Sarah. who, amid all of the notes that she's pulling onto she passes you like a little paper note that's been folded up like a little origami. It looks kind of like a crane.
He will look at it a little bit, and I think he's studied it. The internet is fresh enough that he has safe search on enough that he has been searching for the good stuff. And
Safe search.
And he learned safe search very quickly. And he looks at it, reaches into his notebook, and I think like with his mithril hand, like just with his left hand, he's doing origami. He's unfolding the other one. Like he's unfolding it, trying to figure out how it got folded in that way, and he's trying to like re-engineer it, and then he discovers the note by accident that way.
So you thought she was just sharing origami with you. Yeah, that's nice. See, on the inside there are like these, she writes in big bubble letters, kind of hearts over the eyes, swirly Q stuff, in a flowing script. And you see that it says, I heard that you will be participating in a fight after school. If you get beat up, I'm trained in first aid. Sarah.
And I think he will then like unfold his own origami bird, put in it's like I will come to you if any cold iron besides my own is used. Fold into crane, hand her the small crane.
Cool. And she like carefully unfolds it and then reads it, and she reads it a few more times, and there's a point where she's missed some of the notes, and then she has this frantic moment of like, do I read this over again, or do I so she seems a little stuck, but eventually she kind of doesn't refold it as a crane or write anything back, but she's definitely taking notes. Cold iron is a thing for her. So Elaine, Sobchak and you near the back. You realize that Donnie D is in the back row with you, and he is not paying any attention whatsoever. And every time that Dr. Hawkray has passed him by, he pulls his little phone back up. Oh, yeah, he's got like it's 2000, so I guess
It's a flip
it's
phone.
a sidekick. Is it the what is the thing, like the, I can't remember what they were called, but like the one where it would like flip up and you had the phone and you'd like turn it over, and sidekick. It was a sidekick, right?
I
Wasn't
think
that the
something
thing?
like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
think that
I had a
might be
Blueberry
preaching.
that whole decade. So
So yeah, he's got a little sidekick thing, and he keeps tapping away at it, and he looks over at you. He says, "So the violin talks to you, right?"
mhm.
And you talk back.
Sure do.
Cool. I'm having a party this weekend. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Can you make people go crazy and do what you want?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, we're gonna have fun.
Okay.
Cool. And he keeps tapping away. Cool. So the class passes and the bell rings. You guys have oh yes, there's a hand raised.
Yeah, right before, before or as the bell rings, I raise my hand.
Yes, Kelvin.
Doctor, I had a question that might be related to the hyperstrings, because some superheroes get their powers from hyperstrings.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know, do superheroes only get in accidental fights?
No. The best superheroes pick their fights and try to avoid them. I believe, Kelvin, you're headed to physical education next. Ms. Sanchez, is another good resource for you.
I nod. I am 100% writing down a superhero should choose their battles as a lesson.
Nice! Dr. Hawkray, caregiver. The bell rings, and she'll move over and say, Kelvin, I mean, we can talk more about this later tonight if you would like. I would like to explore this subject until you feel fully satisfied.
Yes, I have some follow-up questions, but I will not be late for phys ed. Thank you, Dr. Hawkray.
Of course, Kelvin. Good luck. So the four of you head down the hall towards the gym. The gym appears to the naked eye at first blush to be a wooden parquet floor with a pair of basketball goals on either side, and stands that could be kind of pushed back to make more room. But you guys know that it also is a very high-tech training room that it's like Aeon has created their own little danger room. So they have various training dummies and the like, and they even have some hard optics that can be deployed. So they are kind of similar to a Star Trek. What is it called? The room, like the
Holodeck.
Thank you. I didn't know why I started down that road if I didn't know what the word was at the end. But anyway, holodeck.
So my question is, does it also broadcast to elsewhere at the school for demonstrations, like when they have superheroes in to show proper form and everything?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. This is exactly where I need to be.
Nice. Cool. So the four of you come in, and of course you have to go to one of three respective dressing rooms. Boys, girls, other. Other is not often used, but it is there to be availed by whoever wishes to. So you guys have to dress in the Hope Prep not very attractive or flattering t-shirt and probably a little too short gym shorts. The colors of the unicorns are an unimpressive either white and gold and blue, or white and blue, or gold and blue. So just imagine 2000 era 2010s Dacron and polyester and cotton outfits for all of you as you guys dress out for the gym clothes. What does Kelvin look like in his gym attire? Is there anything that looks a little odd about him?
I mean, he is a fairly bulky young man with crystal skin and like visible lava coursing beneath it. But you know, they've got like large scale t-shirts and gym shorts. So he's happily pulled those on, and is just trying to fit in as best he can amongst the student body here in the gym.
Nice. So Moon Maiden, which was her vigilante name, Ms. Sanchez, or Coach Sanchez, is a Latina woman in her late 20s. She is very physically fit. She can do one-handed push-ups and just near Olympic level strength in a lot of different categories. So she is very good at her job, which is not just physical ed, but a lot of kinesthetics and study of the human body and other bodies, physics and the like. And she forms you guys up into teams, and it is obstacle course training day. That's right. She says, all right, kids, you're going to get sweaty today. And yeah, so she's going to start running you guys through the myths. Now, Tencel, I'm curious about your mentor. How does she train you?
So it's kind of a mix between like drills she thinks are useful, experiments to try and figure out how I can use more of her power set, which so far has not worked at all. Confusion about how I like have developed the powers that I've developed when she says that the tech was relatively like straightforward and shouldn't have caused this. So I'd say it's like it's not that different. What's different about Jim is that the focus isn't solely on me, so it's less pressure being a Jim, and I like this class.
Nice. Donnie D hands in his he's got a pad of them doctor's note, and then he heads up the stairs and hangs out on the overlook bleachers to watch you guys go through the obstacle course as he continues typing away on his sidekick. I just like the idea of a hero high and someone having a sidekick phone. So I think it's an anachronism, but I'm just going with it, guys. I hope you can let me. Elaine, you have to be separated from your violin, right?
No.
No. Really? Okay, so you're planning, like you're intending to go through this obstacle course carrying subject?
Sure.
Cool. Coach Sanchez says, subject, put that violin down.
She turns around and she says, I can't do that.
And she blows her whistle. Sharp report. And things echo. Kids taking the opportunity to stop jogging. And she walks over and looks down at you and says, you can do that, and you're going to do that. Okay?
She goes, it's a part of me.
It's a tool.
It would be a tool in your hands. It's part of me.
Okay. Well, you're saying you can't take your hand off of it.
She says, I cannot let it go.
Well, I'm going to take it from you then. See?
Okay.
I'd like to try and step in to help out my friend.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So what do you do? Because it seems like Coach Sanchez is not accepting the answers that Elaine is giving.
Yeah, no, I think I want to defend her. So, I kind of, and I think I'm well behaved in this class usually. So I kind of step in between them and say, Coach, like, there's a lot of strange people in this school, and just like you wouldn't try and pluck out Skeletor's bone spurs like in class, like he just trains in a special period. Elaine, like the connection isn't as obvious or as gross as his, but she is connected to that violin, and you can take my word for it.
Oh, it sounds like you're trying to defend someone. So
Heck
let's
yeah.
have you roll plus savior.
That's boxcars plus
Wow.
2. Everyone remembers what happened when someone tried to get, Skeletor.
Everyone remembers that.
Yeah, that was a big problem.
Okay, on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. Add a team to the pool. Take influence over someone you protect or clear a condition. Now, if you already have influence over someone and would take influence over them again, you get to immediately shift one of their labels up and another down.
I think I'm going to clear a condition here.
Probably.
I think, it's a nice reminder that adults listen to me. It's just Kelvin who's a problem.
Coach Sanchez smiles. It's almost as if she was testing your mettle. You realize as you step in that maybe she was prodding to see who would step up and to defend Elaine. She says, all right, go ahead and do your laps, but no excuses if that stupid violin gets you even more trouble. She blows the whistle and expects you guys to get back to running the obstacle course. So, Pale Prince, how are you handling an obstacle course?
I think, what is this obstacle course set up like? Is it like a lot of bars, or is it just like a lot of leg
Yeah,
movements?
I'm imagining there's like a thing where you run through some tires and everything where you have to grab handholds and move across, and a pegboard wall you climb across, and there are these like swinging arms that you have to run around as you're making
I
laps
think
around.
because like with High Freak and High Superior, I think he takes this as a challenge. But again, he grew up in a different world. This isn't challenging enough. So he gets to the front, and his arm is a lot like Furiosa's, and that there's a lot of straps up near the top. And I think he reaches like under his shirt, and like how most people would like a real man would take off his shirt to show his chest muscles, where he just reaches under and unstraps his left arm, and it just falls to the ground, and he runs towards the obstacle course with just his flesh arm intact as he begins to just like one arm leap through the bars and try to swing through the obstacle course handicapped.
Nice. That sounds fantastic. I think it would be interesting to see you unleash some powers here. What do you think?
Okay. I think I am using my superior stamina and strength.
I agree.
That is a 9 total.
Nice. On a 7 to 9, you can mark a condition. On a hit, you do it. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
I think I'm going to, even though I'm showing off, I think this shows that I'm actually kind of insecure around humans.
Oh, appropriate. And I think Elaine, you pick this up. Or perhaps this is pointed out to you by Sobchak.
That could be. It's just that he can feel the threads from the other dimension pulling on him.
Of course. He is not of this place. Cool. Kelvin, how do you manage? I will say that this obstacle course is malleable in that creatures large and small will be challenged by what Moon Maiden has set up for you guys to accomplish. So you can go all out. The things here can be destroyed if that's the best way over or through an obstacle. So how does Kelvin manage going through?
Yeah, I've just learned that superheroes should pick to choose their battles, and it seems like this is the ideal battle because it's been all nicely laid out. There's a friendly competition, right? So it seems like a real superhero would choose to go all in and prove themselves the best against this obstacle course. So I'm gonna embody my lesson here.
Yes, you get to shift one label up and another down.
Yeah, I will push my freak up, and honestly, I think I'm pushing my freak up and my danger down by choosing the show off your powers battle rather than the fight somebody battle, and then kind of just he's stretching, and as he stretches, you hear the weird crinkling noises of his crystal skin, and then you see he's getting pumped up, basically just going through the motions he's seen human athletes do, and in response the lava inside him is getting brighter and more agitated, and reaching out to further in his limbs so that the ends of his fingertips are glowing too, as he then launches himself into this obstacle course, just just demolishing things as he goes, because he's not supposed to touch someone flammable without permission, but he's pretty sure the obstacle course is not a someone.
Nice. And we see this like first person, kind of third person near you, a few panels of it moving around, destroying some of the obstacles. The pieces are moved off by the automated systems within the gym, and other obstacles pop up for the next person that comes through. And we see continue around Kelvin. Then we pan back and we are looking at the sidekick and Don Destructo, and he's watching this and he mumbles, "Look at that mother move." And he starts, it looks like he's setting up odds on the fight. And he's just ticked over a few odds in Kelvin's favor. Kelvin versus Garrison odds. The things are looking a little good for Kelvin right now. And soon enough, Jim comes to a close, you guys, other than Kelvin. I guess build up a bit of a lather, and so you have to head in to hit the showers, as it were. I'm really curious, Kelvin. I don't think you sweat, so do you actually take a shower? And if so, how bad does that go?
I feel like he probably takes a shower for solidarity, and it's just that the water just like vaporizes as it hits him, right?
Steam burns for his neighbors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, so we see a couple of guys going in, and then we see this just like huge billowing steam thing with the silhouette drawn like Kelvin in the middle. The Pale Prince seem to be pretty showy. Is heading into the showers here, is this a thing that how does one approach that?
Dynamically, of course. By walking in with the robe you brought to school, getting to the edge of the tile, in.
Nice. I like it. Cool. Yeah, so you guys shower, and everybody gets dressed so that you can head on to lunch. So do you guys eat together at lunch? I would assume yes, but I don't want to prescribe it. Cool. Yeah, you got your ducklings.
I feel like that's basically what it means to be a team when you're in high school, is that you're a
clique.
A glorified lunch clique, right?
Nice. So you guys get, I assume, who brings lunch? I guess who brings their own lunch? I guess that is, yeah. Magda and...
Look, the lunch is terrible. Like,
I mean,
my lunch is good, like, to be clear. The school lunch is terrible.
Where do you get your lunch from?
My parents pack it.
Oh. Interesting. We're going to have to learn a little bit more about your parents sometime. Your parents make lunch for you every day? What kind of stuff do they go all out? Is this like a big showy kind of lunch, or is it just nutritious? Is it leftovers? How do they?
It's like normal. So I said my characters go in, right? So she's from her family's from the Portuguese region of India. And so it's like stacked metal containers, like full nutritious lunch, like homemade. And it's not true that everyone's jealous of it, but like Magdu feels like everyone is jealous of it.
Nice. Is it a lot of, I don't know that particular cuisine, but is it something with a lot of curries? Is it really like aromatic?
Yeah, I mean, this is why she thinks that like the school lunch sucks, right? Like it's like bread and like 1 to 2 things on the bread, and that's pizza, right? Like where like you've put a little oregano on there and gone pretty wild.
Birthday meat surprise. Cool. What about Elaine Subject? Are you a cafeteria line girl?
She is, and she's perfectly fine with it, because if there's any truth to the world, it's that bachelor majors are very poor cooks. And so even the cafeteria tastes better than what she gets at home, unless she's eating cookies from the packets that they buy.
Bachelor mages?
Yes.
Is her parent an unmarried wizard of some sort?
Oh, well, actually, she lives at the Clubhouse for the Endeavors, which is a club of like-minded mages that collect artifacts.
So there are multiple
Yes.
lonely guy mages there.
Yeah, and some ladies too, but none of them like each other. In that sense, and so they have a fabulous bar. Apparently, that they take great attention to. But
so this is like a magical Eagles club. Is that what you're talking about? That's freaking amazing. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh, that is. We are going to have an adventure at the Endeavors. Okay, cool. So you get into the cafeteria line. Sarah's there. Janusz is there. I mean, they're cafeteria kids. Mm-hmm. So you actually, as they're checking out, you see that Janusz doesn't have to pay. He like flashes a little, underprivileged free lunch card there, and then Sarah is in line with you, and she says, "You know that the Kelvin and the Pale Prince are going to get beat up after school, right?"
No, they're going to fight.
Right, but they're fighting Demos and Garrison.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you worried about Juan?
And she sort of stops and said, "It hadn't occurred to me. I always figured he could hold his own."
I mean, he does have that arm.
Yeah. Plus, he thinks differently.
Yeah, but he's not a big thug like Demos. I just hate to see him get hurt, that's all. I mean, could you imagine a bruise on that face?
Well, yeah. I mean, she goes, I've seen it. It's sort of, he wears it pretty well, I guess.
What? So something, oh, that's not good. That's
what?
Not, did you take a picture? I mean, I'd totally like to see that, what you mean about the bruise.
She sort of stops and goes, "I didn't take a picture. Should I have?"
I mean, if he was on my team, I would totally have taken a picture. That's just all I'm saying.
Okay. I'll tell the mages I need a camera, okay?
Okay.
Are you going to take that last applesauce?
No.
I'm totally taking it.
She takes the apples. Are you seeing like packaged applesauce?
Yeah, they have like those little things.
Yeah, like the little mott's, on the front there. She takes the applesauce and she puts it on your tray. And, oh, yeah, cool. And you see her, she like pulls out her little pad. She writes down the mages and then question mark. And then puts it in her back in her purse.
Okay. I think nothing of it because I've gotten the applesauce.
Cool. So you guys, so Tinsel, when you scoped out the cafeteria and found the perfect table here in the cafeteria, is it a thing that you wanted easy access to an exit or entrance? Were you looking for windows so you guys could look outside? What is it what made this the perfect table and the reason you chose it and why you guys have it on lock? Oh, you're talking on mute. It must be a physical mute because I don't see mute on Zoom. Uh-oh. No. Dang it. Yeah, I mean...
Do you want to just answer into my mic for the moment? All right. She says she's going to pop off and rejoin to see if it fixes the
Good call. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll leave that as an answer for later. Yeah. Cool. So the three of you have your foods. Kelvin, what do you eat? Do you consume things?
Yeah, I think Kelvin has also packed a lunch from home. So I think he sits down and like puts this brown paper bag down in front of him and is like, very excitedly like opening it up and like pulls out just like it's just like a like black stone cube, and he's like, "Oh boy, my favorite." Like opens up his mouth wide and like swallows it in one bite, and you see like some like spurting kind of yellow and orange lava inside of him, clearly like whipped up into a fury by whatever it is he's just eaten, and then like he kind of his stomach like gurgles a tiny bit. He's like, oh, just the best. Nothing like home cooking, and like he like smiles at Tensile at that.
Nice.
And I'm testing to see if I'm off.
Yep, we can totally hear you now. You fixed it. Cool. So, I'll re-ask. I don't know why this is super important to me, but I think it's neat to kind of show how Tinsel sees threats or what she thinks is advantageous. What's the table that you picked out in the cafeteria that you guys always sit out, and what was the strategic advantage of that particular table in the cafeteria? I imagine these are all like those round tables with 4 to 5 chairs around each of them, so it's enough where you guys can just kind of make it your own.
Yeah, and I think the cafeteria is kind of slightly below ground level, so there's windows, but only at the tops of the.
Oh yeah, cool.
And so we're kind of in the corner where we get the benefit of the light, but if you assume that something is probably at the point to come in the window, we are out of like the impact path, but like ready to ambush it from the side once it comes in.
Nice. Cool. So you just witness Kelvin doing his normal lunch eating ritual, which is relatively quick for an entire lunch period. I think, Kelvin, do you just participate in conversation for the rest of the lunch period, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it takes a while for that cube to be digested. So there's still like gurgling and popping and lava light shows going on inside of him. So
it's like pop rocks, but it's just great.
He's sitting there, contentedly participating in the lunch with everyone. Yeah.
Nice. As the 4 of you are at lunch, you see a pink-haired girl wearing a leather jacket over top of her, like she's taken off her blazer. She's out of uniform. Her name's Eon Tempest. She pops in, looks around, and then heads over to Donnie D's table where all the cool kids sit, and whispers into his ear, and he nods, and then he pulls out his sidekick and types in a few more notes there and maybe sends a few messages. And then she waits patiently until he gives the nod. She's able to sit at the table. And then she makes it look like she didn't care about sitting at the table the whole time, and like puts her feet up at one point and leans back and tries to look cool. But she's super excited to be at the table anyway, at the cool kids table. What do you guys normally do during lunch? Tinsel, do you talk plans? Are you guys revisiting this fight after school subject? Are there other things on the agenda?
Yeah, I feel like usually it's a mix of socializing, making plans about after school stuff. Now, today the plan for after school stuff is fighting, which is not ideal. So I've tried talking to my teammates and it didn't work.
What do you mean? I have a solid plan.
So I think I want to try and see if I can disrupt this in a different way. You mentioned that sidekick has gone back into his pocket, right? Not low-grade telekinesis.
You want to do some low-grade telekinesis? Try to steal that sidekick?
I just want to get a look at it. Stealing would mean I was taking it. I'm borrowing it briefly, and then taking a look.
Unleashing some powers there?
Oh, yeah, because I'm extending my senses by grabbing something, then looking at it. So let's see. That's not good. Yeah, that's a 4.
That's
so much
4.
XP. Yeah. So I was just trying to, he's got like stupid pants of some kind that are fashionable or like ripped or anything else. Trying to just sneak it out subtly in all the commotion. Obviously, I'm not touching it, but
you are not touching it, and that's probably why you will. So yeah, you're doing that. It takes a lot of concentration because you're trying to work so subtly. And that's when you don't notice that Miss Sophia Kinfield is standing nearby, and you pick this out, Pale Prince, as she looks over and then walks over and says, Magda, I'm disappointed in you trying to sneak a look at someone's private information.
what? No,
I'm sorry, but that's against class policy. You'll be taking detention after school.
Detention? Can I join her?
Magdu immediately goes like, yes, I could use the moral support.
Kelvin's like visibly excited too. He's like, detention is what made us a team in the first place. We will all do detention again.
Okay.
It's the greatest
If everyone's
adventure.
already in detention, we can't get in trouble for fighting. So this is unexpectedly working out.
And I think as soon as as she's thinking, it's like, I will have to do detention after my fisticuffs.
Your fisticuffs, please explain.
I have thrown down the gauntlet and laid a challenge out for Deimos and his muscle-bound compatriot. I will have my own muscle-bound lava-bound compatriot. My flame brother is one of many, well, not many, one of the best.
No, the lava is on the inside. It's very important that it stay in there. The binding agent is the crystalline skin.
I would assume that this is not an authorized fight.
It's very
Okay.
authorized. I hit him with my glove.
I'm told it's only
Magda.
polite to have a fight after someone gets hit with a glove.
Magdu, I thought you treated your teammates better, allowing... No. You obviously will need faculty supervision.
Is that what we need for an authorized fight?
Yes.
Excellent.
It sounds most accommodating.
Magdu puts her head down on the table.
Who is it that you're throwing down with?
Deimos and the other guy, I can't
Garrison.
Garrison.
Oh, good. You know, other teachers will probably try to stop this, but I think it's healthy. Plus, I'm, one of the cool teachers. So we'll be this. I will authorize it. Sounds good.
Yeah, as soon
Is it to the death? I didn't ask.
Oh, of course not. That would be villainous. This is to first blood.
Oh, first blood is fine.
Death would be
Make
unfair
one.
since I probably cannot die.
It is a very, very obvious thing that he cannot die.
Dr. Hawkray is still investigating, but that's her preliminary conclusion.
And it would take way too much effort to try and put him back together if anything unforeseen were to happen. So it is only to first blood.
You know what they say, if you cannot die, can you truly live?
Yes, the Fae cannot die, and they live all the time.
Kelvin is thinking hard about this.
Well, unless you kill the Fae, then they die forever.
Well, the Gauntleteer came back to life last year. So is he really alive if he keeps not dying?
Magdu, I'll see you after class. For detention.
How do you get an authorized use of powers if they're allowed to have an authorized fight? This was prep for the fight. So doesn't it then, therefore, fall under the heading of authorized as preparation for the fight? Now that the fight has been, in retrospect, authorized. I'm perfectly willing to roll this as a provoke.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see you provoke her.
Yeah. Only seems fair. That's an 8 plus superior. It's 10.
Wow, she says. Very well, I guess this will get you out of your detention. And you can watch. Very interesting. I don't think this will go as well for your team. I hope that you give them good pointers. Elaine, subject. And then she.
Yeah, I think Elena will like kind of bow her head, but also she'll tilt the violin in her direction.
Tilts the violin. We're getting some Muppets level awesomeness with the violin tilt. That's pretty great. Cool. So, I will now ask: are there any scenes that folks want before we start to jump ahead to end of school and the now authorized schoolyard fight?
I think the fight's the big thing, right?
I think the fight's the big thing. All right, so we cut to the fine spring afternoon. There are a lot of kids who are waiting, students who are waiting for this fight to throw down. Demos, who is wearing his black, like he's very quickly changed out of his school uniform. He's in a black t-shirt. He's in jeans. He's wearing his his metal toe boots, and Garrison has changed into just like a sleeveless t-shirt and a pair of jeans as well. The two of them are there along with a few of their other flunkies, and all the kids are around, waiting for this thing to happen. Is there anything you guys want to do before you have to step into the ring? I'm going to imagine this is like outside basketball court, fence, chain link fence all around, 100 kids kind of all around Fate's, your faculty member who has authorized this fight and doesn't realize that she could get in trouble. Sophia Kinfield, Fate's Fury, is there to authorize this fight, thinking that's all it takes. Dr. Hawkray is going to have words with her, but only later, because she doesn't know that this fight is taking place, because she's exploring hyperstring theory. What do you guys, anything you want to do before we jump in?
Yes, I am going to essentially put the word out that essentially if anyone on Demos's team goes to assist them, that I want to know, because that means then that I can assist my team.
Nice. So if they cheat, you want to know.
Yeah, so I can cheat too, except I don't put it that way.
Well, yeah, because it's not cheating once they did it first.
Exactly. It's just evening the odds.
Cool. So you haven't gotten any conditions, man. That is a mark for future. We're gonna make sure we condition the crap out of you.
Why would I have conditions?
All because you're
is mess up. I know. That's all
so
I have to do.
We gotta push you to do stuff so you can mess up a lot.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, it's just a note for me. It was not you. It was me. It was like Rich, like Nova, have to give you tons of conditions or opportunities for conditions. Do you want to charge up your powers in preparation?
Sure.
Awesome.
Let's do
Roll
this.
plus conditions you currently have marked, which is none. So you're rolling flat.
Okay. This is my chance to work up a bunch of them. So I got a 6. Yay!
All right.
It's like
So it'll be nice.
what, 3, doesn't it? Like something ridiculous.
You on a miss, hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Okay. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna mark guilty, I guess, right? Because I did like hurt him one time, so and I'm starting to worry that he's gonna get hurt again. And I'm starting to realize what's going on. So we'll do that.
What do you do to charge up your powers?
Yeah, I was going to totally
How are
ask
you
for that,
interacting
too.
with?
Are you tuning the violin?
That is exactly what she's doing. She just picks it up and very casually begins to, do the scales, right?
But does the
here.
violin appear like obviously magical here because you're...
No, that's a problem with the subject. There is no appearance of power whatsoever until it actually manifests the flares.
Okay, neat.
Or do you not like that? Because we can.
No,
make it
I like
seem
it.
uncanny.
I'm still just trying to get a vibe on this. Like, Rich, aka the MC/GM, have not figured out if the violin is just like an imaginary friend or if it's an extraplanar entity. I'm really fascinated. That's why I keep asking questions.
Okay. And let's see here. And you know what? I will try afraid, because as I've been going around checking with people, they are very much of all the opinion that is my group that's going to get hurt. I'm a little worried. So I'm not good to -2 to engage, -2 to provoke, assess, and -2 to defend or reject. Okay. So now I have flares. When I go to do them, what do I roll?
Good question. Let me pull up the Nova playbook.
You don't necessarily have to roll, right?
Yeah, I think you just, for most of them, you just spin to burn. And you do it. So each individual flare will talk about what you need to do. Some of them will allow you to defend people, directly engage a threat. Others, just the thing happens.
Hey.
For example, your moat, you spin to burn, you create a barrier. You don't have to roll anything. Boost, you spin to burn to supercharge someone's efforts. That doesn't, there's no roll to it. Your roll is right there charging it up. So
Okay.
you are ready to go.
I'm sorry, I thought there'd be more danger with it, but...
Oh, well, I mean, 3 conditions is pretty dangerous.
Well, and if I roll and fail again, then it would be way too many conditions.
Yeah. You flame out. Your violin would like snap a string. Bing! Patang! With kabong. Tinsel, what are you doing here?
I think I'm probably just trying to, at this point, like, we've gotten permission for the fight, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're no longer automatically in trouble. I don't trust these boys as far as I could throw them, and I don't trust our boys for like a lick of common sense. So, I think I'm not going to get involved in the fight as it starts, but I want to be ready to step in or break it up or, call out getting. So I'm probably assessing the situation and like the grounds of the fight to figure out kind of how to best jump in.
Do it. All right. Roll plus superior.
All right, so that's a 7 plus 1. Sorry, plus 2 is a 9.
All right, you get 1 question.
Yeah, and I think I want to know, what here can I use to freeze the other boys in their tracks?
Ooh. What can you use to freeze Garrison and Demos in their tracks?
Which, like, for all I know, is another student who's here, right?
Yeah. No, that is really interesting. So Demos, of course, if he thought his dad was here, that would throw him off. Of course, his dad would probably want him to just get into the fight. So that would be a little. Oh, you get an extra question. Oh, awesome! Thank you.
No, that's if I were relying on previous research about these guys. I was just rolling a straight assess, but I will try and roll that in the future.
Yeah. We'll keep that in mind because I think that's a really cool move. So yeah, for AKA Demos, also Garrison. He knows the Fate's Fury's support of this is not exactly legit. If he thought he was going to get into actual trouble for this fight, he thought it was just going to be a low-key beat up a guy thing. Now everyone's watching, so that would freeze him if he thought, oh, you're going to get in serious trouble, because that would not be a good thing for him at all. As
awesome.
You are assessing the situation, you get a text. You get a text from Anaximandra. Where are you? I need utensil.
I say, be there soon. Got assigned detention, but I'll be free soon, which is all technically true.
Cool. And then in all caps, detention, question mark, exclamation, question mark. We need to have a talk. Cool. So Demos kind of does this a little bit. He steps near the center. He says, all right, Princey, you're the one who laid down the challenge.
Yeah, we'll, I think, step forward, closer to the center, pull out this, like, I think I'm dressed in my station's uniform, which is princely Fey garb, which looks fucking amazing. And at the belt,
is it like ostentatious? Or are we talking like David Bowie collar?
It's like, imagine Cersei's dresses. It's like it has some armor on it. It may look like it doesn't really, like it wouldn't really protect anything, but it's very embroidered, very fancy, very colorful. Probably has beads and actual jewels on it.
Nice.
And he reaches for his belt, which has what looks like a dagger, and he pulls it out. It's this rough-hewn, cold iron thing, and he snaps it. It's his Fey Omni weapon. It turns into a spear. He holds up his left hand, his left arm. This mithril shield or buckler appears and ejects, and he pulls it onto his right hand arm as he holds the spear with his left, and then that's when Enos appears from the dimensional tear that the horn makes, and he mounts his battle brother and points the sphere at Demos. You have hurt a student, and now I shall challenge you to first blood. Whichever one of us can make the other forfeit wins.
It would be such a wussy move to whip out a bunch of weapons. Could get blood out of you with my fist, but fine. G-Man, get my sword and shield. And Garrison.
Oh, I didn't know your father cared about you enough to equip you with weapons of war.
Oh, and there's like a ooh from all the kids around, and Demos just, oh man, he grits his teeth because you don't even.
You're right. I don't know your father, but does he know you either?
Fine. Garrison comes back and hands a shield and like a cool looking broadsword. Yeah. And then Garrison looks over at you, Kelvin. He says, "We're just punching, right?"
So Kelvin has taken off his school uniform and like laid it, folded it neatly and left it at the side of this field. He has no costume because he's a being made of lava inside of a crystal containment skin. But he's he's kind of doing like the little like warm up again, right? And the like spikes of his skin is like protruding a little more into kind of spikes, right? And there's like lava swirling around in them, and he says, "Don't worry, I understand it would not be a fair fight to simply fire lava all over you, so I will not do that without permission."
Going with a no. No burning me. Just fighting.
Okay. All right. And I will approach my buddy, Yuan, and kind of pat the side of his unicorn, saying, "Yuan, it is exciting to be fighting next to you, especially here at this school. I've just realized that the school's mascot is the unicorn, and you have an actual unicorn, and I haven't met any other humans that have an actual unicorn. So this seems both appropriate and lucky."
I would not want to fare this battle with anyone else by my side, Kelvin. You're a true and unmovable friend and companion.
Yeah. So I was hoping to comfort and support. I feel like we've comforted back and forth here almost, but
that's
I roll thermodynamic miracle when I comfort or support someone by telling them what makes them unique. Roll plus freak instead of mundane.
Cool.
Yeah, having a unicorn makes me unique.
It does make you unique.
Yeah. Pretty darn unique, yeah.
All right. So that's a 9 on the board plus my 3 freak makes that a 12.
Wow. Cool.
However, this will work slightly differently than normal comfort and support. It sounds like you opened up to me, so you can mark potential clear condition or shift labels, Yuan.
I am going to... Yeah, I'll clear my condition. I'll see if I earn any experience in this fight.
All right. And with a 10 plus, I can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition myself. I don't have any conditions yet, so I will add a team to the pool. However, because you opened up to me, I shipped freak up and mundane down. My freak, those are already maxed out.
Which means you're going to take a condition.
So I'm going to take a condition from successfully comforting you, which I think is just like a little like, looking around the this whole field and like realizing like that even amongst the superpowered student body, I am unusual for being made of crystal and lava, and the exchange with Garrison had me thinking about the fact I can't even like use what I'm made of or without the risk of pretty folks. So I'll go ahead and mark insecure.
Okay. When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool. You've already added 1, so you guys now are a team pool of 3. If the leader has influence over every teammate, who's the leader? Pale Prince? I think you're the one who threw down the challenge. So.
Yeah.
Do you have influence over Kelvin?
I have influence over everyone on the team.
That pushes to a 4 team. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, Pale Prince, what do you want to do in this fight?
Make Demos think twice before he picks on someone else again.
Awesome. Kelvin, what do you want to do in this fight?
Back up Yuan and make him proud of me.
Okay, so you don't get to add another team. All right, if any team member mistrusts the leader, do you mistrust the Pale Prince?
No.
Okay. He's and I don't think you guys are ill-prepared or off-balance. So you are at, you're at, what, 4 team? Yeah. Because you have influence over everybody. So 4 team is the thing. That's how you guys will be able to help each other. You see that Demos now has a shield with Ares symbol on it, and he's got the cool Spartan style sword, and he even puts on the Spartan helmet. It's got the cool kind of rooster bit of accoutrement, and even if it's not historically accurate, it looks awesome. So he has that thing, and he's going to challenge for it. And it looks like Demos is going to try to take your horse, your mount, out from under you. Is the very first thing he's going to do, Pale Prince. What do you do?
I am going to use my Kirby Craft / Battle Brothers ability to dimensionally teleport and just not be there when he strikes, but be landing above him and landing on top of him with my shield, with a shield bash to show him the folly of just charging at me head first. Such an Ares thing. But I think I'm going to be engaging a threat directly. But since I'm on my Kirby Craft, I do that with Superior.
Okay, let's see you do it.
Let's hope I don't earn experience.
I'm hoping for experience. I think it's great. Potential's awesome.
I got a 9.
All right, on a 7 to 9.
But does Kelvin want to help with the team?
You want to spin the team?
If you want me to, you're kind of teleporting above him and then like bringing your shield down on him.
Yeah, and you could help by maybe like moving it towards him a bit, or making him move closer into my range.
Yeah, I might just reach out and grab the front of his t-shirt where he's got that Ares logo and just drag him forward a little bit, to be helpful.
That's cute. I like that. That will push it to a 10. On 10 plus, on a hit you trade blows. On a 10 plus, you get to pick 2 options.
Well, since this is to first blood, I resist or avoid their blows.
Good call.
And I think I take his helm from him. I think I just hit him so hard with my buckler bash that his helmet goes flying.
Nice. So you start to teleport. He seems ready to anticipate with the action. So rather than a sword swipe that slashes nothing, he pivots to try to go where you're headed. He's just attuned to combat. But then Kelvin, you bump him, that knocks him out of the way. He's slightly off balance, and that's when you come in, but he's unable to connect with you. So you resist and avoid those blows, and you pang him on the side of the head with your buckler. His helmet drops to the ground with a little dent in the side and the bronze of it. And yeah, he stumbles out of the way and tries to regain his composure. Kelvin, Garrison does this sweep tackle thing and slams you to the ground because you basically you had to throw yourself out of facing him to help out the Pale Prince. I want you to take a powerful blow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, roll plus conditions marked.
I've got a condition marked now. Oh, that's great. I rolled Snake Eyes, and this is when I want to roll low.
This is the perfect time. You mark potential and tell us you stand strong. Mark potential as normal and say how you weather the blow.
Yeah, so he tackles me to the ground, and I just kind of roll with it because at heart I am lava, which I am hot lava, which is fluid, right? So he tackles me, and weirdly it's tackling a wave. And so he kind of finds himself kind of flipped over, and I'm standing, slightly bemused on the other side of him, turning around, saying, "Oh, I don't think that's going to work."
Nice. And you seem all cool and everything, and he was drawing back to try to punch you when you hit the ground, and that throws him a little bit off. He's like, oh, okay, another way, and he rolls out of the way and stands back up again, trying to figure out a different way to fight you. So, Elaine, this first round seems to be going relatively well for your team, but you have all of this sorcerous power that's burning inside you and all of those conditions that are swirling. What are you doing right now?
I think she sort of climbed up a few risers up on the bleachers, and she's looking over at the other people that are on Garrison and Dimos's group, because the ones they were in detention with, who she assumes are with them. And she's like, aren't you going to help them? She's just waiting for them to do something so she can.
Ooh, is she
It sounds like you're
provoking them?
provoking them.
Yeah, I think you're trying to provoke their flunkies to jump into this.
Yes, I think I am.
That's awesome.
Oh, so what do I roll for that?
Oh, to provoke you, roll plus superior.
Okay, let's do that. I think I have 0 in that. But I rolled a 10.
Wow. Okay. On an NPC, for NPCs on a 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. So, yeah, you throw out there like you guys should totally go help them fight. They're getting their butts kicked, and so sure enough, Wally Thompson Jr., aka Junior, he bulks up like and he charges into the fight.
Okay.
And he isn't even wearing his like brown mask thing. He just like charges into the fight. He's like, "Oh, you're right. Man, I gotta save Demos." And so, yeah, guess what, Johan? There's a new challenger has entered the fray, and it looks like he's going to try to tackle you off of your unicorn. This is no fair. You having a horse, man. And so he's going to try to do some kind of like wrestling lariat move to like tackle you off the horse. What do you do?
That was right as the train was going by, which
okay.
still might be in the back. But he was doing a lariat to try and drag me off.
Yeah, there's this guy here. I'll show you a picture of what he looks like. So you have that in your mind. This is what Junior looks like. He is the son of a Sasquatch. He's a big guy, and he like bulked up and got to where he's about 7 feet tall, and now he's trying to insert himself in the fight to protect Demos, his good buddy.
I think I will. I'm going to use my stunning beauty power. As he comes up to me, I turn, smile with a ding, and
okay.
I think Demos can handle me just as well by himself, don't you?
Ooh, that is... I think you're directly engaging a threat.
Am I directly engaging a threat, or am I unleashing my powers?
Oh, no. Yeah, let's see your freak flag fly. Let's see you unleash your powers to overcome this obstacle. That sounds amusing.
Oh, dear. That is... Wait, no. 3, 4, 5. That's a 7.
Oh, look at you. Rolled a 5, and you've got a 2 in freak. So, yes, on a 7 to 9. On a hit, you do it. On a 7 to 9, you need to mark a condition, or I'll tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Oh, I'm angry. This was supposed to be a fight just between us.
That's right. Oh, he like... No, you're right. You're right. Go, Demos! Go, man, go! And he's like stuck, and he looks back at you, Elaine. And he's like in the circle, so he's technically in the fight.
I know. It's hard. I think she yells, "Cheaters!" and then she puts her violin up like very much a demonstration, if that makes any sense.
Yes, absolutely. So you're like holding up your violin. Are you threatening to get involved here? Is that what?
Exactly.
Sweet.
Do it.
We cut to Sarah, who's like quickly scribbling notes. Tinsel, what are you doing?
I agree. This is cheating. I want to give Elaine a chance to get the first swing in since she worked so hard to engineer the cheating. So is there something you want to do first? Because otherwise, I have a sneakier cheat.
Oh, I respect sneaky, but I don't think Elaine knows how to do that. Let's see here. I think
I figure I'll only be helped if you're doing a non-sneaky thing first.
Yeah. Let's see here. I have a thing to do a directly engage, or I could. Yeah, actually, that's kind of amusing. So let's see here. Yeah, I think that I will directly engage, but I'll engage the peripheral guy that just ran up there. So his name was Junior.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to smack Junior into the fracas.
Where's the fracas located on the human body? I don't know.
Yes. So I'm going to hit
and
him.
You're reality storming this poor...
I'm reality storming him. Because I yell, cheater! And then I play a short little bridge that just makes it clear that he is at wrong.
Awesome.
And then I'll roll. So I roll with freak.
Nice. Now, I think you have... -2 because you're afraid.
Do I?
You marked afraid, and the effect is you get a -2 to directly engage.
Oh,
afraid,
wow.
so.
Okay, so I'm even.
Yeah, you're rolling straight up.
Yeah, okay, let's do it then. Oh, a 5.
Awesome. So the good news is you get a potential.
I know. I'm going to be so
you.
powerful. No. Don't.
Oh,
yeah, she brought this on herself, right?
Yeah, I certainly did.
Musical puns for the win. Cool. So do you draw your bow across the strings in order to what were you trying to do, right? You were using the flare of Reality Storm. So what was the intention? What would that have looked like if this went well?
It would have looked like the realization that he was a cheater, and he would have stepped back in horror of it, because of course to be a cheater is the worst thing. And so it's just that realization, like you play that stinger that he's the bad guy kind of thing.
Cool. So you throw out this Reality Storm trying to draw everyone's eyes to the cheater, and people start to buy into it, but then out of nowhere all of you feel the patter of sudden rain and the crack of thunder. As students of Hope Prep, you know that when rain comes out of nowhere, that means that President Maelstrom has arrived. President Maelstrom, the Dean of Hope Prep. President Maelstrom, who his history is entirely redacted and is only referred to as the President or President Maelstrom. So President Maelstrom arrives on the scene, and you hear in his thundering voice, he doesn't normally put on the thundering voice, but he totally does have the thundering voice. And the voiceover for him is Dennis Haysbert, who does a lot of the kick-ass Allstate commercials. He's got that great deep, nice, almost Keith David voice as he says, "I believe the school is out of session. All of you have exactly 5 seconds to vacate school property." What do you do?
I run.
Yeah, you can clear that condition.
That's right.
Elaine books it.
You're the worst human being.
I'm pissed still. I'm going to clench my fists by my side because I'm teed off. I still want to do the thing to Deimos I was planning to do, which is telekinesis the straps on his shield to cut off circulation to his arm.
Oh, nice.
So I'm pretty sure that's a directly engage.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh,
I'm
such
hoping I
trouble.
can get away with it.
Yeah.
No, I
we'll see.
can't. I'm rolling at -1, so that's a 3.
So the good news is you get a potential.
Yeah. It's just, even his stupid shield and this stupid fight. And surely I could have gotten away with it.
And then that's when Fate's Fury, you start the telekinesis, the straps start to tighten, and then your telekinesis like stops, like something else is tugging against it, and Fate's Fury speaks into your mind. Well, that is obviously cheating. You're going to need to come to the dean's office. And I think that what we'll do is we will stop the session right here. So we don't quite know what Kelvin and the Pale Prince are doing once Maelstrom has announced his presence and told people to vacate school property. We will pick up with that at the very top of our next session, because I like to save a little bit of time because we've got some end of session stuff to do, friends. Does anyone have any playbook specific end of session aspects? I don't think anyone does, but I always like to double check in the first session to make sure I don't miss that. All right, cool. So at the end of every session, each of you will individually choose one, either grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team. We will start with Kelvin.
Oh, I definitely grew closer to the team. This has been a great day for me overall, I'd say. And I think Yuan, the Pale Prince, made me feel welcome by being excited to fight alongside me.
Oh, well, you give influence to the Pale Prince, and the Pale Prince already has that. So guess what? Pale Prince.
My labels.
That's right. You get to shift one of his labels up and another down.
Well, you are just like family. Shift your mundane up and your savior down.
All right, I'll take it.
I'm glad you didn't shift his freak up again and make him take another condition. That's very nice of you. Awesome. So now we will ask Tinsel, did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team? Oh, you're muted again, Leah.
So I'm just talking on Alexi's headset here for a second.
It's a good idea.
Rather than leave and come back again. Yes, I think she grew into her own image of herself, but not in a way she liked. And that means for her superior down, mundane up.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Elaine Sobchak, did you grow closer to the team, into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
That is such a good question.
I know, it's Brenda Conway. He knows how to make games.
I know, and it's like she sure was trying to help. It didn't go the way she wanted, but it could have if Maelstrom hadn't shown up. Right?
Right.
I think I grew into the team, but in her own Elaine Sobchak way, which is at least she didn't destroy them.
Who made you feel welcome?
Let's see here. Well, Tinsel, because she did stop me.
There you go. She could have.
Yeah.
That's very welcoming. Tinsel, did you already have influence?
Oh, you know she.
Yeah.
If not, then you take
No,
influence.
she didn't.
Yeah, she did have. Or what?
No, she didn't.
All right, she's got influence now.
All right.
All right, rock on. Cool. So then we end with the Pale Prince.
I am definitely close to the team, and it is obviously Tensile who was trying to help with the preparations and helped us get this fight authorized.
Totally.
Yeah, so she has influence over you already, and she's going to say the shift that she's making. Superior down, savior up.
Damn.
Cool. Good. See that. So that takes care of all of that, you guys. And so yeah, we will do stars and wishes. I know Leah's having the mic thing, and I apologize. So we'll do both you guys first. Lexi, 2 stars and a wish. Do anyone need a reminder on what stars and wishes are? So stars are positive feedback, things, highlights of the session, or positive feedback to your fellow players for cool things that they did. This is where you're handing out the stars of the game. Lexi, a couple stars. What do you got?
Yeah, big star to Sherry for the wildness of Elaine Sobchak's whole deal, and especially the moment where she was, taunting the other side into cheating because she was so excited to cheat as well. She needed them to do it first. Strikes me as very believably high school in the mix of all this crazy wizard music stuff she has going on. And another star to you, Rich, for filling up this school with all these crazies. I am excited to see how this fight ends and how we move forward with our weird classmates that are demigods and Sasquatches and who knows what stranger things as well.
Right, that's right. No, thank you. Any in that? Oh, sorry, was that your wish?
Oh, wish. The wish is just to see everybody do their things, right? See the mentor and protege interact. See the outsider be outsidery and get in touch with his alien fae parents, and see the Nova, go crazy and warp everything, and me to get a chance to do a mind of their own move where I develop new powers as the situation demands.
Nice. I'll go ahead and read out Leah's stars to Yuan's narration of his entrance into battle. Yeah, definitely. That was amazing. Stars to Elaine's amazing power source. I want to see it get wielded successfully and not. And wish, I want to fight some folks my character feels good about fighting. Who doesn't feel good about fighting Demos? You were on the right track. He's worthy of fighting. You just rolled terribly. Thank you so much, Leah. 2 stars and a wish from you, Sawyer.
Stars to Kelvin for being the perfect hot foil for my Fae antics. And stars to Tinsel for trying to not be dragged in, but being stretched into our plans. And I wish to... this is a selfish wish, but I wish to see what other NPCs have weird crushes on you on.
Sarah 100% does.
Oh, definitely.
Garrison, maybe. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sawyer. And then Sherry, 2 stars and a wish.
So I really do have to say, Leah, your Tensile is the perfect, sensible, level-headed high school student that never should have been in this group. We are a burden to you, and I apologize. But it's so perfect. And Alexi, I really like the newborn. It is just a really fun way to open up what's going on and question the tropes and make it sweet and funny. Very good. And it would be good for your Pale Prince is excellent and awesome and full of flourish and everything you would want in a Fae Prince. Thank you, Rich, for running this. And I really do hope to see us do a lot of ill-advised fights and some ones that really need to be, punched. Those people. That's what I want.
You'll face some bad guys. You'll face some bad guys.
Yep.
You will.
Both of those.
You bet. Awesome. Thank you all so much for giving this a shot. I am so excited. This is like an all-star cast of great players, and I'm looking forward to playing quite a few sessions of this with you all. So thank you all, and we'll see you in a week.